Hello my beautiful friends, we are going to be doing a full face of new makeup today. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to name this video. I kind of feel like I want to name it I Can't Believe These Brands Are Sending Me PR. And I want to talk a little bit about that as well because 2015 Angie, I started my YouTube channel almost 10 years ago, a decade ago, okay? 31-year-old Angie did not think that she was gonna be where she is right now, and I would not in my wildest fantasies have thought that these brands, I'm looking at them right now, would send me PR. We have NARS, we have Anastasia Beverly Hills, we have Rare Beauty, Polite Society, Huda Beauty just added me to her PR list. It's one of my absolute favorite brands. She literally sent me a birthday cake for my birthday. Blown away. And I'm gonna show you something, but I'm not gonna be using this in today's video because this brand has not even announced this and I don't understand what happened. Look at this. Morphe sent me a PR package. I'm not going to show you the collection or what the box actually looks like because they have not announced this collection as I'm filming this. Do you want to see a Morphe video? I can't even believe, let me see if I can just scooch this down without giving away their launch. Do you want to see a Morphe video? Trying out Morphe? I don't know. I feel like Morphe was super hype. When I started on YouTube in 2015, that's when they were really taking off. That's when Jaclyn Hill did her first collab palette with, let me actually do some primer while we talk about this. This is when Morphe was doing their first collab palette with Jaclyn Hill. And I'm not talking about the white palette. The white palette was not her first collab palette with Morphe. Her first collab palette with Morphe was actually a favorites bundle where she was putting some of their single shadows, her favorites, into a pre-made palette. That's when Morphe was really starting to take off, and I feel like she really propelled them into something. And then they were definitely in the doghouse because they were working with influencers that was just getting canceled and were just some of them just really not good people, and then they really did not treat their employees well when they were closing their stores. But now they're under new ownership and new management, and I am just I want to see what they have going on. And I can't believe a decade ago Angie would never have been able to even process the fact that Morphe sent me a collection ahead of launch. What even is that? So let me zoom in a bit and let's try, well, not try, because that's the one thing that I actually have there's a couple of things here that I have actual thoughts on. I've been trying them out for a longer time and I'm able to give you a review of them. And then there's a couple of things that are going to be first impressions. So let me zoom in and we can start with the foundation, which is ABH. Also, decade ago Angie is shaking in her boots. How did I get PR from ABH? What is this life? Okay, let's start talking about something that's actually a different kind of a release. And this is Ellis Brooklyn sent me their new release. That's not the correct way to read that. It's their marshmallow body spray. And honestly, I think that if you like marshmallows, if you like sweet scents, you will like this. Me, I like more complex fragrances. And I heard someone that was saying that because of the price and how these body sprays are diluted to make them a little bit lighter, they're usually not as complex as a fragrance, which to me makes 1,000,000% sense. But if you're like me and you want to smell like a damp basement or just a sophisticated piece of grass, this might not be for you, but it does definitely smell like marshmallow. And how I've been using this is to layer. I feel like body sprays, you can even put it in your hair. I'm not the kind of person that sprays like that with fragrance. I have friends that do that and it smells great on them, but that's not my journey. But how I like to do with body sprays is to layer them. This is a Kayali fragrance that I really love. This is the Wedding Velvet Santal. I know the other one, the other Santal scent got so big, but I actually like this one more. This is their unisex scent. I think this is meant to be more masculine leaning. And it's a boozy rum raisin, and I love it. And together with the marshmallow, it just gives it a little bit of more a feminine touch. And that's how I love to wear anything that's marshmallow or sugary or vanilla-y. I like mixing them with other things when I feel like having a sweeter tint to them or a sweeter edge to them. This one is great, by the way. I don't even know if it's available still, but I really do enjoy this. I've been wearing it quite a lot. I've been wearing it every day the week before we went to Disney. I really enjoy it. So If you like marshmallows, this definitely does smell like marshmallows. I don't feel like it smells artificial or plasticky. It's just not complex enough for me, but I use it for layering. I hope that that makes sense. Let's talk about the ABH new foundation. These look a little... I got a PR package that had 5 of them. The reason why mine looked like this, because one of them was just shattered in the PR box. So I tried to dry these off to the best of my ability, but it wasn't like perfect. So they sent me fair and light shades. Let me see which is the one I've been using. I think this is the one that I've been using, which is 1.5N. And I've been using this one on its own, and I've been using it mixed with this one because it is too light on its own to match my body, because my face is lighter than my body. And I will even show you a picture of me wearing this foundation on its own versus me wearing this foundation mixed with the liquid bronzer by Makeup by Mario, so you can see how light this foundation is without. But I also kind of wanted to show you, because this is the foundation that they sent me. This is 00N. They sent me this shade, and this is the shade that my friend is using, Lisa. And this is the shade they sent me. And I had to be like, this isn't my shade. This is a fair pink undertone, and they actually let me put the one I'm using next to it. They contacted me on Instagram, and they're like, okay, so how would you describe your skin tone? And I really appreciated that, because like it does help out a lot. As you can see, this one is also way too light for me. I think that this one is a light with a warm undertone, and I would describe myself as a light medium with a neutral golden undertone. So as you can see, the shades that they sent me were really light. We're gonna use this one and we're gonna mix it. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the one that I have been using, which is the darkest shade that they sent to me, which is 1.5N. And I am gonna be mixing it with, to make it a little bit more my color of my skin, again, because I wanna be matching like the rest of my body. My face is a smidgen lighter than the rest of my body. I also got this one from One Size. I am so excited to be on the One Size PR list, because they have really great products, and they have a lot of products that work for my skin type, which is combo skin. And I just very excited. This is called the B12 Base Thinner. This is a vitamin pearl serum, and it is a little bit like, it makes a full coverage foundation a little glowy and thinner without making it like, I don't think they're gonna make it like oily or change the consistency. Like if it is a foundation for oily skin, I think it's still gonna be a foundation for oily skin. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a concoction between these, and I'm gonna do like 2.5 pumps of the foundation. I am gonna do, how much? I think I'm gonna do 1.5 pump of this. This will be interesting. And then I've never even tried this one. Let me see. Like, what am I? I'm doing a full pump of that. That's interesting. Let me see if I can grab a foundation brush. I'm gonna be using the EO1, which is my own brand Cinch's foundation brush. And I'm just gonna be mixing this together. And you can see now that this color is much closer to like the color of my hand. I might have made too much though, but that's a lesser problem. So let's see. Oh yeah, it definitely made the foundation more runny. And there is a little bit of a glow to it now. Not metallic, but a little bit like, not as much as the new L'Oreal skin tint that I've been trying, but a little bit of like a sheen or some life to it. And I definitely can see that it lost a little bit of its coverage, which can be nice because that's what this product is meant to do. It's meant to make your full coverage foundation a little less thick, a little less full coverage, so that you can use it for different occasions, not just for a full coverage foundation. Why do I feel like that turned in lighter? Did I not mix this properly? I feel like that turned out lighter than the rest. Okay, so far the foundation feels the way that it does without the thinner. It just looks a little glowier without being sparkly. You can tell it's not sparkly, but it lost a little bit of its like full coverageness, because this is a full coverage foundation. And it just looks a little glowier and a little more like a light medium coverage. You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I cannot wait to use this with the one size full coverage foundation to see how that one wears. First impression about this foundation, while I apply a concealer that is not new. This isn't even a first impression. I'm lying. I've worn this foundation several times. I've worn it for, this is the Laura Mercier concealer. I've worn it for several full days. I have worn it with different kinds of primers. And what I will say, it looks fairly similar to the one size mattifying foundation. When it goes on, it feels pretty similarly, the coverage is pretty similarly, but I will say the one difference is that this one doesn't wear as matte throughout the day as the one size does. So I think that this Anastasia one is probably better for even more different skin types than the one size one, because that one is truly a matte foundation. It's not crusty or like powdery, but it is a matte foundation and it keeps matte. The ABH one will let through some glow, but it doesn't turn like super oily and it doesn't break up, but it definitely doesn't stay entirely matte throughout the day. I do like a matte foundation, so I think I prefer the one size one, but I still think that the ABH one is a really good foundation and I think it will fit even more skin types. I can't believe Huda Beauty sent me a PR. This is the Ubi powder, and I'm going to be using this one today, and it looks like this, and I used it with a more peachy concealer so that we can really try and get this to be a purple under eye, to get that kind of a feel and look. Because again, I don't always wear makeup just because like this is flattering or this is making me feel pretty. Sometimes I do my makeup and I think that like for whatever reason you are doing your makeup, there is no rights, there are no wrongs. Sometimes I do my makeup to feel sexy. Sometimes I do it to feel cute. Sometimes because I like playing with color. Sometimes because I want to look menacing or fun or anything. And if I end up looking fun but not the most like conventionally pretty, I am okay with that. And I think with this powder, for me, it does definitely make it look fun and cute. And we're gonna use it together actually with the blush. But I think that this is a fun release. If you want to play around, do like purple under eye powder. Is that the most flattering on my skin tone and on my under eyes? Not really, but it's okay. I'm happy I tried it. I think that this powder is even more brightening on, you can see, if even more brightening on a darker, like medium tan, deep complexion. For me, I think it is like, I need something that's even lighter, but I still like appreciate it for like what it is. It is definitely a fun thing, and I'm gonna be using it with my favorite part of this collection, which is the Ube blush. This is in Ube Cream. I love this blush. It's not this kind of a purple. It has a little bit more pink to it, the actual like color, than this one. This one is a little bit more of a pastel lavender, and there's a little bit more of a pink to the blush, and it has a transparent base, so it actually looks really, really beautiful on the skin. But I thought we'd do blush after we do bronzer, because we also have the Rare Beauty bronzer. They sent me medium cool, medium warm, and medium tan, I think. And this is medium warm, and I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a good color for me, because it does actually look pretty dark. Like, look at that. That is dark. But I gave the medium cool to my friend Allie Dawson because I'm definitely not cool. And we are gonna see, oh, I used the wrong brush. That was an EO5 and I wanna have an EO3, this one. But we are gonna see. I feel like it was like almost the consistency of like the blush, where I feel like it maybe dries down a little bit too quick, and which is a reason why I love the, because I feel like that looks a little not even, right? Which is a reason why I love the one from Makeup by Mario, because it is so easy to work with, it is emollient, it is sheer, and it really just blends out. I feel like this one looks a little patchy. And I didn't use any powder down here. I only used powder here. So for it to look a little patchy down here, I don't know how I feel about that. Because you can tell when I'm blending it out. I feel like it's just maybe too pigmented. I mean, now, even coming afar, like this looks nice. I just am not 100% convinced. It could also be that this color is indeed too dark for me, which is perfectly fine. I might end up buying a lighter one myself in store. But also, like Ali, she bought herself in store. Like she went to the store and bought a bronzer before I gave mine to her. So she was going to return hers. Oh, look at that. It literally took off a patch of foundation. Oh, that is not good. And she got medium cool on her own accord. And I think Ali is about my skin tone and maybe even a hint lighter than me. So if she got medium cool, it would probably tell me that the light ones were too light for her. I don't think that this is the right shade for me. And it also lifted here. Are you allowed to say that you don't like love the Rare Beauty launch? I don't know. I don't know. I will use this a little bit more, but I definitely am lacking foundation here. Like there is no foundation. And if I look closer, I can see the bronzer being patchy and in like little spots. I don't know if you can see, but I can see. Not my absolute favorite. I did also get 2 new blushes by NARS, but we will be using their eyeshadow palette instead. So let me put on a little bit of the Ubi Cream. This one goes on very pastel-y, but when you blend it out, it actually turns very transparent and just, I think it looks gorgeous. Like I am obsessed with this blush. I've been wearing it so much. And I went to a Huda Beauty event. Huda Beauty herself wasn't there, but their makeup artist said that this collection was made specifically for medium skin tones in mind. And I can tell because of how like sheer and buildable this blush is, because it really sheers out and just creates this like lavender pink veil on the skin without leaving a weird white cast, at least not on me. I think it looks beautiful. And this formula is wonderful because it is not flat. There's a little bit of sheen to it, but it's not metallic or shimmery. There's just a little bit of sheen to it. And it's beautiful. I mean, I love it. Let me actually do my brows because I don't have anything specific for that. And then, do I have a highlighter? No, I don't. I did a little lip liner and my brows, and I do have, I mean, these look so nice. These are from Polite Society. These are their blushes. First of all, this packaging is 10 out of 10. This is great, great packaging. It feels sturdy. It's super, super well made. And I got the shade Malibu, which is like a almost shimmery peach. And I'm like, that is so pretty. Okay. You know what? I'll show you some swatches. And then there is a bright pink that is called Miami. I'm not going to be using these today, but I got to be honest with you, they look incredible. And I also have, like I said, the blushes from NARS, and I will use them at another time as well. But I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I don't have a highlighter here, but that's not even true because you can use this one as a highlighter too. So I was like, I'll do a little pumpity pump here. It looks like that. And I'll just use my highlighter brush that has a lot of glitter in here. Why are you the way you are? And I'll just do this and oh yeah, definitely. And we just add a little bit of extra glow on top of, I'm gonna use a little bit more, atop of the blush, and we can get like that highlighty effect. I'm actually going to use a little bit here too. Wait, this is actually really pretty as a highlighter because it looks glowy but not like sparkly or a lot. Wait, I actually like this a lot. I have a sneaking suspicion that I am going to enjoy this product a lot. That actually looks... That looks so nice. Okay, let us use the setting spray by ABH. I think that this one definitely elongates your makeup. It has a nice spritzer. I don't know if you can even see that because it's a nice spritzer, but it's not so fine that it's just like a fog that you can't feel. Like you can feel it, but it's not like squirting you in the face. Nobody wants that. And if you do, listen, I'm not here to judge. It smells not fragrance, but almost like that hint of like you're walking into a spa. It has a very pleasant, very faint smell to it, like the bottle, and it also comes in a small one. So this is supposed to be a setting spray to elongate your makeup, and I really think that it does that. And my base is looking so freakishly nice. I do have a lip product by NARS here. Again, I'm gonna save this one to another time, but it looks so beautiful. Look at that color. But since we are using this palette by NARS, it is called the Afterglow Tempting. I can't believe, I feel like NARS is such a classy brand. I can't believe they're sending me makeup. Not that I'm not classy, but like, I'm not the person that usually goes for this makeup. Let me see if I can open this without breaking a nail. But I will say, I'm usually not the person who goes for stuff like this. This is really beautiful though, and there's a lot of sparkle in here. I actually did like a little reel for my Instagram showing the sparkle in this one. Absolutely stunning. And I think we're gonna be doing something with this like mauve pink and this like almost burgundy plum shade, and then the duochrome in the middle, right? Or should I do the sparkly pink to keep it? No, we'll do the blue duochrome because it's like a purpley plum to like a blue, not like an indie, but almost like a softer, more like sophisticated Sephora alternative to that. Honestly, it looks beautiful. So I am gonna, well, I'm gonna wash my hand. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of primer. I'm still using the Sigma primer stick, and then we'll go in with the eyeshadow. Oh, maybe we'll actually apply another lip product before, because I have the Polite Society lip balms, and I really want to use one of them because I was thinking maybe the bright pink as a lip balm would be cute. The other one has shimmer in it, which, I mean, I don't hate a shimmer, but I kind of want to do the bright pink. Ooh, I had to take a little break to post a reel, but I am back. Okay, this is what they look like. So you've already seen some swatches, but I want to do this pink one. I do also have the Fall Filler Gloss by Huda Beauty. She sent it in the Ubi one, but I still feel the same about that gloss as I felt when I think I mentioned that is my least favorite makeup of the year. I think that the pigment is not attached to the gloss. It separates and ends up in the ridges of your lips, and you get striped lips. And I said I didn't know it was only the dark colors, but it is this color too. This is not my favorite type of gloss. If you have fine lines in your lips like I do, I don't think you're gonna love that gloss either because you get striped lips. So this is the shade Jelly Bean, Glossy Lip Balm in Jelly Bean. Does it smell like jelly bean? Oh, it does. It smells very sweet and nice. Oh, that's nice. Who am I? Pink lips? It's 2025. New year, new me. But I've been into more, not like white-based, cool-toned, like baby pinks, but more like this kind of pink. That is a bright pink, but it's like see-through. It's not any white base. And it looks really nice on the lips, and I'm wearing it with a brown liner, which for me is a way to make it less pink. Oh, it tastes good too. Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. It tastes good too. That's actually dangerous. So I'm gonna be playing with these two colors. I have not used, I mean, have a good brush for this. I have not used a NARS eyeshadow in a hot minute. But I remember liking the formula a lot. Not to the point where it's like, oh my god, this is super pigmented, but being like, this is a good formula. Like look at that. That is pigmented, that is smooth. And I'm using the new Cinch E08, which is the fluffier crease brush, and it is perfect for a lighter, this is almost the same color as the blush, like a purpley leaning mauve. That's how I would describe it. Oh, that's nice. Look at me appreciating things that aren't like super bright. Because that's the thing. I think, and this is me, the way to get the most use out of your collection or out of playing with makeup for me is to like everything. Because when I do, I have the most amount of styles to try out and the most amount of ways to use all of my makeup. And I've really been appreciating like brown and yellow, for example, which has made me get good use out of all those browns in my collection that I haven't used a lot. And now, for example, I'm using pink together with a brown lip liner, and then I'm getting use of some of those pink lip products that I have, or me doing more pink cheeks and putting it up here and towards the outer side of the eye. Again, it's been getting me into experiencing and appreciating even more types of makeup. And I am gonna do, this is an EO10, but I kind of want to do an EO2. That's an EO2, a little bit fluffier, and I'm gonna do that darker shade. Oh, let me get more on my brush. And we are gonna see if we can just deepen this up a little bit. I will say this is not the most buildable eyeshadow I have, like this dark one. I like this one, but this one, it's a little bit too dry and it doesn't really build. It just kind of lays on top and blends in. So that dark one, not a favorite, but we're gonna use the one in the middle, which is, I don't know if there's a name. Oh, there are names, wait. It's called Feeling It, and we are gonna do, we're gonna do an EO9, which is the flat one. I am gonna spray this because I kind of don't want to have like glitter all over. I don't know if it needs to be sprayed, but I'm gonna assume. And I'm just gonna put this all over, I think. This is like a duochrome topper, like a plum base with a more blue teal shift sparkle to it. And I really think that this is like a subtle way to doing sparkles. Sometimes those amazing indie shadows can be a little finicky to work with, because especially if you have like a hood like me. Because this hood, the shadows keep like, the particles keep falling out because they're like grinding towards each other throughout the day. And I get even more fallout from those like super textured or super sparkly shadows. I want to have like a happy middle ground. So it's really hard sometimes, or those like super emollient shadows that look incredible when you swatch them, but then when you have them on the eyes, sometimes they end up not being as impactful on the eyes because of them like maybe creasing on you, moving around, disrupting your primer or disrupting your matte. So it is a balance between having special shadows and not making them so special that they're like impossible to wear. And I think that this seems to be towing the line. That's also something that I kept in mind when I did my palette, the Galactic Visitor. I tried to create like special shades. There are special, but not so special that they're not usable by people that have more aging eyelids like me. I'm applying a little bit more of this just with my finger in the middle to intensify. Well, that looks nice. It's almost like a wet look on the lids. I'm gonna put some mascara on. I think I'm still gonna do like a half lash. And we need to figure out something for the inner corner and the waterline. I feel like this could be a Prance Candidate. Or is that predictable? It's a little predictable. So this is the Galactic Visitor. I'm actually just gonna use a little bit of just with a pencil brush around my inner corner, just to keep this a little bit lighter and brighter. This is like a very nice pastel peach. And I'm actually gonna do a little bit, I've been obsessed with this line. You know, I love Colourpop's Prance, but I've been using this one so much. This is in Charmer. And this is like a burgundy purple, and I've been using it in my waterline, and I've also been using it as like a little bit of a liner in my outer corner, because this is very dark and creamy. And as you can tell by this look, it is not like a super dark look, because the dark shadow didn't necessarily perform like incredibly. So I thought we'll do a little bit with this one instead and just create a little bit of depth and darkness with this, and I will use the E12, which is one of the new brushes that I just released, to just intensify this liner. And again, I like this brush because of the angle, you can still get stability and rest it on your chest. And I'm just giving it a little bit of drama like this. I think that is giving just a little bit of drama. Just something was needed, and I really like how that looks. So let me finish it up with the half lash, and we can chat about these new releases. I am loving this look. Okay, everything is done, and I am really enjoying this look. I feel like this is a very neutral look. It has a little bit of a duochrome effect, but I actually thought it was going to be more than this just looking at the palette. Again, I feel like this is, you want to play with sparkly makeup, you want to have something different, but you don't want to have that full-on like indie effect or something that's too bright. This might be something for you. I don't think that this is going to be like perfect for me, but I don't mind it. The Rare Beauty bronzer, I need to try this a little bit more, and I also need to see what other colors they have in store, because this one is kind of dark. Also, we are getting in, I'm in Austin, Texas. We're literally getting spring this weekend. I think it's going to be closer to 80 again soon, and I'm like, I'm going to be tan soon again. So this might be a better shade for me during the summer. Right now, I think it's a little bit too dark, and I didn't really love how it blended out. So I'm going to try this a little bit more, and I'll see how I feel about it. I will say I am actually really impressed with how this, I saw these in store when I was in Ulta, and I looked at them and I showed my husband them. I'm like, these look really cute in real life. And I didn't buy any of them because sometimes I do receive some PR from Polite Society, and I'm very excited to have these. I cannot wait to wear both of these blushes. I'm going to wear them, at least one of them, tomorrow already, and I will give you some further thoughts about them along the way as well. With the Ubi collection from Huda Beauty, the powder, it serves a purpose, but I think you should have medium tan skin tone to get the full effect of it. I have mixed this one with a lighter powder, and that has worked better for me. You can see it doesn't really give a brightening look to me when I'm like a light medium. The blush is my favorite. I can already tell you. I'm telling you right now. I'm feeling the future. This will be in my yearly favorites. This is beautiful. This has made me appreciate a cool tone blush. The gloss isn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite from before. It's still not my favorite. This one I'm very impressed with, and I'm gonna keep using this, and first impression, I love it. It feels great. It looks great. I love how it mixed with the foundation, and I really like this foundation as well. If you thought that you wanted the look of the One Size foundation, but you didn't want it to be, you were worried if, since it is marketed towards combo oily skin, it was right for you, this might be right for you. I'm gonna definitely get this one in my correct shade, because right now I do not. But yeah, those are my thoughts about the products. Let me know if you've tried any of these things. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some more on my channel. I did actually read the fine print in the PR box. I missed it the first time that I looked at it, and it seems like it will actually be revealed at the time that you are seeing this video. But let me know what you're interested in. I'm open for suggestions. I hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you real soon in a new video. Bye.